story of a man named Tony who's in Blue Man and he eats a lot of flan. Then there's Steve drinking lots of coffee over in the sunny land. That's about all I got right now on 5 seconds of planning.
Then there's Moody, working for GHS, playing lots of solo bass. That was terrible. Sorry. I apologize. Sorry.
Yep,
There's a reason why we're bass players.
that's true.
And not lyricists or Jerome Kern and whoever. Sorry. Anyways. Hey, we're the Big Bottom.
We're Big Bottom.
The Big Bottom.
And we have some sponsors that we want to talk about. First off, I'd like to talk about A Designs Audio.
A Designs Audio.
Boom, 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 boom. The KGB I have right here. Yum, 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 yum.
Ready?
And there's Steve with the ready. And look, there's the Ventura.
Yep. We're losing it, folks.
We're singing the whole thing.
You know, it's hot, it's tired,
I know. Yeah, so adesignsaudio.com, Pete Montesi, some of the best outboard recording gear out there. So go to A Designs Audio, the ready staple in almost every studio. Momo was even like, I got to get one of those things. And
That's true.
And he has everything. So A Designs Audio. And then the next one.
Golden State Coffee Roasters.
Dude, that was really fucking good.
I know.
Boom.
Which, that is the coffee that I just ground up yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's a code that you can use if you're purchasing from Golden State Coffee Roasters online or in the store. That would be Big Bottom 15, Big Bottom 15.
And their website is goldenstate.coffee.
Yes.
How much more cool can you get with that?
Boom, boom.
That's pretty rad. Yeah, downtown Placentia. They roast their own coffee. They got great food, great stuff. Order from them. I like the Winchester. It's pretty yummy.
And we had one of our longer podcasts tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Momo.
I'm not sure it was so much on bass. It was like just on life in general.
Life in general.
And I
So,
enjoyed
For
every
those
second of
people that are coming on that are from a lot from the bass player crew, realize that we don't just get into bass, so to speak. You know, Momo is a motivational speaker, so we get into everything, really.
Yeah. It's cool. And it's, again, like Poncho, there's some fuck, shit, fucking fuck.
Yeah, he's still more of, I'd say, more of a PG on there. But yeah, there's a little strong language.
PG, yeah, PG-13.
PG-13. PG-13.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I know.
And he's a flan fan.
He's gonna get us a very old and special recipe too.
Yeah. It's gonna be
He likes tight flan.
He likes tight flan.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Whereas Tony would rather bathe in the caramel sauce.
Yes.
Well, and I don't mind tight flan too, so.
Or firm. How about firm as the word?
Tight and firm flan.
Firm flan.
It sounds like you're shopping for a mattress, Steve. You know.
I know. Well, you know.
I mean, let's be honest. If there was some flan the size of a mattress, you'd lay in it first.
Hell yeah, yes, that'd be fun, man. And then
You might get in trouble. I mean, I know a little story about people using lingonberries at IKEA and doing bad things with it. So.
Yeah. No.
We'll get into it here.
No. And you cats doing well? Any new equipment, new stuff, things?
Not right now. Ooh,
I've got
okay.
2 bases in the works.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, I think the Better Mousetrap is getting close. I haven't heard anything yet, but I wouldn't be surprised very shortly. Oh yeah.
Look at that bad boy right there. Let's talk about that.
So this is 3/4 inch spacing, 19 millimeter bridge. Happening. It's out. It's by the time this gets out, couple of weeks from when we recorded. Yeah, this is kind of sneak peek. But now GNL has a bridge that is wide spacing for people.
True 60 spec too, right?
What's that?
60 spec.
That is 60 spacing. Yeah, that's JB. But we're going to be doing the L2500, a one pickup version, and the JB. And and probably Kiloton,
Mhm.
and eventually the M series, which I really like. So,
Mm.
I'm a
anyways,
fan of the M series.
I love it. It's a great bass, man. So yeah, but yeah, and then we're just rolling along. There we go.
Sweet.
All right. Well, hey,
Sweet.
Big Bottom, episode 17.
17?
17. Check out Momo. He's an interesting character. We like him
Yep,
a lot. Momo's cool.
Love the guy.
very much so.
Fantastic. All right, so we're gonna stop recording. Yeah, Big Bottom. Enjoy the episode.
Yes.
It's rad. So, all right, we'll see everybody. Enjoy. Bye.
Boom. Well, you know about recording, right? You always got to record what's happening because it's like the studio.
Yes.
You should have recorded those riffs. It was the best shit, and you're never gonna play that again unless you get to hear it.
Yep.
Gone. Hey, Tony, do you want to introduce our wonderful, awesome guest today?
We have the one and only, the voice of Forever Doom. It's Killer Momo. Momo's with us.
How are you guys?
Fly in some applause and audience and crazy shit. So it's gonna be good.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
This is awesome. Now, where do you live, Momo? Are you on West Coast?
No, I'm actually in Canada. I'm in Montreal.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a killer city of music and jazz and all kinds of like fantastic things that happen here in Montreal when it comes to world musical influence, you know, and art.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And food too, probably, right?
Oh, killer food.
Yeah.
Absolutely monster. For those who love food, they will know that Montreal is that place. Well, you guys you're from Boston, right, Tony?
I love Montreal. Yeah, I played up. Used to play up there years ago. And it's funny. On a side note, I have a lot of Canadian friends who live up there that surf, that come down to the New Hampshire and Maine coastline in the summer. You always until this year, and they surf. So there's a lot of Canadian surfers that I'm aware of that live in the Montreal area.
Wow, that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. But right now we can't kind of see each other, and this is the best way to do it. And I'm really happy about this because for those of us who have appreciated this kind of communication, I know I've been part of it from the very, very early beginning days. And at one point, I think it's better than having friends that are next door because I actually get more shit done with somebody that's in Japan than with a guy that lives right next door to me that's gonna make me wait for fucking weeks and I'll get shit.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Well, why don't you break that down for us? Let's discuss that one for a while. Like, why does that happen? Why is it that you can get to work with people around the world that you don't even know that well, but are loyal to their trade or to their word, but your next door neighbor, the people in your own town, you can't get anything done with them? What's up with that?
Probably depends on the person, everybody has a different sense of urgency, so
Could be that.
that's individual sense of urgency, man. I mean, what's important to one isn't to the other. And sometimes, the people that are in the closest proximity are kind of meh about things. And then you surround yourself and like with you guys, I already know that you guys are go-getters. You guys finish shit. You guys say you're going to do it. Done. You say you're going to do it and you fucking do it instead of just like vacillating between it. Like maybe I'll get to it, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know, man. I think it's, I don't know. It's different. Maybe, I hear what you're saying though, for sure.
I wonder if some of that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if some of that is kind of that whole, like a broader thing of the don't work with your friends kind of thing, where because like if I had some people like that I hired to do a studio thing in the area that I've worked with around this area, maybe they would be like, oh, well, we could get that through because it's John and stuff. Whereas if, I send it out to, one of our artists in Nashville or something like, hey, I want this done. Okay, I'll get it to you by the end of the week. And then bang, it's there.
Yeah. And also the busiest guys on earth, like guys who get paid like big money, have no fucking time to do shit.
Mm.
These are the guys who will actually, you call them up and they go, sure thing, man. And then boom, it just happens like by dinner time and you got the thing, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's also, I mean, your own, your own track record, your own body of work that you have, and maybe the respect that you have from people. Maybe yeah, I don't, you know what I mean? That all differs too. It's like how much somebody's like, oh man, he called me to do something, dude, I'm on it. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Mhm.
the familiarity sometimes might be a thing where we all know people that we really know well that do great shit for others, but then you're so close to them that they're like, Steve can wait. You're like,
Right.
dude,
Oh, that's true. That's really true,
I,
dude.
I, I've known you for 25 years. We're bros, but you're giving all this other stuff more precedence than me, and I'm asking you. So I don't know, maybe familiarity. Maybe that.
Hmm.
Yeah, a few things. I don't know.
And I
Also,
mean, like, some people are just shit at doing being able to manage their time.
yeah, they can't handle more than, like, you're right, because there's a certain amount of information.
Yeah.
Like if you used to like managing shit, right, and doing your own stuff, and you got a bunch of things going on and some employees and shit, then you're able to multitask for real, right? But
Mm.
I guess some people, after they pass 2 or 3 things, it's kind of like a bit of an overload, and they could kind of forget or slip back or get overwhelmed, right? So
Yep.
Mental bandwidth.
mental bandwidth.
How much are
Mental
you?
bandwidth.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. How much can you handle at the same time? And where is that on the scale of what I want to do
Hmm.
personally? Like, where is that in? Do I really want? I don't know. I want to do this more. I mean, I know we're talking generalities, but maybe that's part of it too. Because my mental bandwidth sometimes is, and ask these guys sometimes is like, I just can't. I can't handle it right now. I need a break. Hold on,
Yeah.
I got too much.
Well, I think that's almost more important, Steve, because at that point you're not going to say, "Oh, I can get this done," and then you're dropping the ball. You're saying just flat out right up front, "I can't do this,"
Yeah.
and you don't need to give a reason why. You're
Yeah.
just being honest and saying, "No, I can't commit to that." And I mean, in the long run, that's way more important and will benefit you than saying, "Oh, I can do this," and then later on, it drops the ball. People get frustrated when really, if you were honest with everybody, you would have never taken it in the first place.
Yeah, and there's reasoning, right? There's also the
Yeah.
reasoning as to like, why would I do this? Like, I always remember when years ago, when I was an agent or a manager, there were certain kind of bands that would say, "Oh no, if you don't pay me this exact amount of money, right, we can't go there."
Yeah.
And I used to think, "Oh man, this is the hottest club on earth. You're gonna open up for one of your dream bands, and you don't want to go and do that, and you guys basically suck, and I got you into this opportunity. You're not going to go check that shit out." And I realized that there were some people that were more propelled by the nerve of exactly how much they figured they were worth, and they wouldn't move even when they weren't that professional at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the people who are really pro, that obviously you have to, if you want to keep a certain reputation, then I guess, you have your tariff, you go for that stuff, and then you can help out some friends and shit. And I would even, I like to help people out for free. Like I do it all the time. Just go out there and I see the potential. I'd say, "Oh, here, I'll just do it. Let's just,"
Sure.
I hope it inspires you to go further, But that's always really intrigued me, the reasoning. And I think that reasoning these days really need to be for no other reason at all but you first, right? To gain that more of the skill set. Because I've always said that musicians, their brains, they're arranged in a way that if they tweak them up right, they're the most intelligent people on earth. They're 3D, they feel velocity, they can jam without talking to people, hence making them a little bit telepathic. The different styles and genres of music employ different kinds of cooking methods, shall I put it, right? There's different spices, different tempos, different speeds. When you get all this shit, you're kind of like a fucking scientist. And when you limit yourself to like one style of one thing, and you don't understand that this skill set like expands to everything, like how to have your personal relationship with your wife or your friends, or that's an arrangement. There's compression overload happening in that shit when people get all riled up about fucking tweak out you got too much bass, boy. Bring that shit down. You're over compressed. And I don't know. I think it's a magic thing, and musicians, especially today, in a business that is about to be completely reinvented. We hit that post. I mean, you know, some of you guys, I don't know how old everybody is here, but you know, maybe I'm pushing 60 now, and I have seen. Oh, there you go. So we're in our 50s, all of us, right?
Yeah.
At least. So
44.
yeah, okay, but you might as well be 50. You got that kind of experience. And honestly, you look.
I let people guess on mine.
Yeah.
You guys look fantastic. But all I'm saying is,
Man, me too.
I've seen shit change and disappear before. And it wasn't the end of anything. It was actually the next level of the thing, right?
Yes.
Hence the amount of people we have on Earth. This is what's happening. More demand, more people. Where do they go? What do they work for? What do they believe in?
Yeah.
We have an overflood of gear, an overflood of, you know, consumption, addiction to shit that they're never going to take into their grave with them. You know what I mean? What the whole musical arrangement here. This is the thing: musical arrangement, tempo, and sacrifice. Like, like when you learn how to make a commercial, a great 15-second commercial. I always tell people, guys, you can't put every riff in there. I don't care how great you think the song is. A great commercial is a series of sacrifices that bring the mini shit, and it's fucking over. You need to loop that all fucking day long and feel like it's a new song every time, even if it's 2 bars, you know?
How you doing with all this, man? Are you okay at home with all this bullshit that's going on right now?
Well, you know, strangely enough, in a sense, I've been prepared for this mentally. Because I have been predicting this kind of stuff was going to happen, not with a germ. For me, everybody who knows me will tell you that for the last 2 years, I've been saying 2020 is the end of everything we know it. Okay, I'm not a political guy. I'm not a conspiracy guy. I have a vibe, because what happens is when you don't get affected by the outside world, and if you're not fucking crazy, and you're surrounded by love and information, then you're able to make your own shit happen, right? So, you know, I've been with my wife for 36 years, 24 hours a day. She's my best friend. And we achieved together immense amount of stuff. We're information junkies, but we're also everything from singers, writers, commercial makers. We're full-time creative artists that started as musicians and winded up expanding, you know, getting endorsed by Canon. She was like one of the first top female photographers ever. When people would say, "What, you're a girl, you can actually take pictures," you know? When we were touring, I was just telling somebody today, the industry thought she was 19 or 20 years old. She was actually 40 at the time, and we never told anybody. So we have the experience and the preparation of being locked inside, for starters. I love being locked inside, but I need to create at all levels. Not just the music, not just the song. It has to be the photo, the editorial. We've gone, I feel like I have 50 fucking lives, man. I've tried everything to be in the industry, from just for the love of trying to make it in music, you know, only to find out that in the end, you can't just be a musician, you know, and especially today. But yeah, I think this, guys, now I'm going to shut up so you guys can fucking talk, but I think this is actually an amazing thing. It's going to be fucked up for a lot of people, but this was bound to happen. And now the problem is going to be this: all people who are used to being outside in groups of people, or if you're in a band and you're touring, the promoters, the managers, all you guys got to do is we rehearse, right? We learn our shit. How much are we getting paid? What's the schedule? You go and you do that shit. Now that shit's all fucking gone for the next 2-3 years, 100%, never coming back. So now what do we got to do? Well, it's obvious. You see all this stuff with Zoom and stuff. People are going to turn, for real now, their homes, their garages, and buildings into diffusion studios that permit you to live stream concerts. So Metallica's going to hop into their giant ass studio where they're rehearsing. If they're smart, they're going to do what Dave Grohl did. And Dave Grohl, he's got his studio all fucking hooked up with cameras and recording and shit. They could do sit in documentaries. They could have a party. They can diffuse live. Poof! That's it. There's nothing else but that. And guess what? Everybody will make 50 times more cash than they've ever made. Because you're no longer going to play to 5, 10,000 people. Every time you play that set, you could be playing to 1 million people at a shot. Because
yeah.
we're dealing with the world now. So when you think about that, that's the amazing thing. But a lot of these people are going to be starting from zero. You need aesthetics. Am I going to see your fucking underwear hanging up behind you as you're playing? Are you always like boo-hooing like some emo person who's crying about their problems and you're only writing songs about the fucking COVID? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that have got to be done. And if someone starts from scratch today, period, it's taking you 2 years to be able to flow. You know, how to record, how to crossfade, how to film yourself, how to edit, how to tweak the shit so it sounds like a fucking record. You know what I mean? All that stuff, you know it. It takes 2 years, and now you can kind of flow. But then what happened? What moved ahead of you when that was going on, right? And what are the skill sets? You know, people wait until there's a major problem, and then they say, "Oh fuck, what am I going to do now?" I'm not that guy. I've always been 5 years ahead of learning that shit, man. Yeah. Like, it's a natural thing for me. And I'm going into that. I want to motivate people. I might stop playing music at one point in the next couple of years, just so that I can motivate people on how to work at home and have the best life with their couple, with their goals. And I think my destiny is really that, from all my musical journeys that I have taken, and I've wrestled with it. I've fought with it. I feel like it's fucked up, but sometimes you just have to admit, and you have to pick, because there's only one thing at the end. You know what it is, right? It's fucking death. And as Lemmy said, killed by death. And I love that song.
You have faith, Momo, in the live stream aspect.
100%.
100%. Okay.
And in the individual musician, I have faith that you, my friend, and both of you guys, my friends, can make huge. Do you really think that after a couple of years of everybody being inside, that everybody's going to want to go back to work in an office and do it the old way? That's the other thing. Guess what? When people get used to some shit, motherfuckers, most of them are not going back to that crap. I know. I have been working out of my home. I was one of the first guys to do it when it wasn't cool. Okay? We're talking fucking years now. But I always built an office in my home. I always had a separate building next to my home, so that I didn't have to get stuck in traffic. I've been working at home for over 30 years. Nice. So this is the key. And I got to tell you, you know, my wife and I, like, we shrunk down our customer base because we were doing too much work. And we had to do that so that we can focus. And this is what everybody else has got to do. You got to pick your battles. You know why? Because you're no longer just dealing with your town. It's the whole world. Mm-hmm. 1,000 people in the whole world, and you guys are fucking all multimillionaires. Period. That's the fucking numbers. This is just how it works. 1,000%. But then again, organized energy, being professional, following deadlines that weren't given to you by a manager or a record company, or a loan payment or anything. This is hard. Yeah. Even for me, I have all the time. I can do what the fuck I want. Right? I can't even finish my own fucking shit. What the fuck's wrong with me? You know, so I'm trying to change that this year by trying to be even more hardcore when it comes to scheduling yourself. You got to do it at all costs, eh? And you got to almost be fucking militant. Yeah. You know, and not feel bad about it.
I think at the bottom root of it, it has to be a passion, and it can't be a flighty thing, because especially during this,
yeah,
I've seen a lot of people like literally like, oh shit, editing video is hard. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, it's a pain in the ass. No one likes to do it, but it's a passion thing where it's like, yeah, I like to do it, but they need to have that passion so that they can actually go over that learning curve, because that's a sucky learning curve.
Oh,
like it's It's a mess. And I've talked to like video, like I love doing it, but I hate it because it is a process and it takes time and a lot. And if you don't have that fire, you're going to just give up and you're going to fade away and you're just not going to do it. So
Well, you got to care. You have to care enough.
well, I think that's that passion where you're just like, fuck, okay, I want to learn. I want to do this. Even though it's going to suck for a while, I will get better. You know, and I don't know. I think it's just it has to be innate, an innate passion to keep driving. You know what I mean? That's what helps. And that's what makes you not give up when shit gets hard. And stuff's getting
No, but what are true goals? You know, like true goals, you know, like I was looking, my wife pulled out some of our old lists of what we used to say we're going to do in a day.
Oh, wow.
I'm fucking telling you, I'm going to frame that shit. You're not going to understand. I'm telling you, never less than 70 goals a day. 70. You got to understand, like her and I, we're used to doing, we got trained to basically go for never less than 48 hours at a time on getting anything done. And I got my ass fucking beat. I don't know if you ever saw this little thing I put out, but it's how Kim Fowley almost killed me by making me write 70 songs in one evening with my wife, right? So I don't know if any of you guys know who Kim Fowley is. Kim Fowley's the one who basically formed the Runaways.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, he's a cross between Vampire and Max Headroom. The guy's a fucking super eccentric, fucking crazy motherfucker who was with Ezrin. He wrote some of the biggest Kiss songs, Doobie Brothers songs, like fucking everything. The guy's a whoop, like whoop-de-whoop. But I got the opportunity to virtually be locked in a studio with this guy for 2 days. And the shit that came out of this guy's mouth, and I'm not going to get into it because it's quite a long story, but I will individually send you the document, because you guys will fucking lose it and you will learn something absolutely amazing. Yeah. But the bottom line is he locked me in a room in a $5 million studio that I had all his gear and shit, and gave me a DX7, a fucking RX5 drum machine, and a fucking cassette recorder. You understand? And told me that if I didn't write 70 songs with my wife, right, by the time the sun came up, and it was already 7 p.m. when he was telling me this shit, that I needed to get the fuck out of here right now. You understand? So then tell yourself that after she finished crying on the floor, and I told her, no, honey, we're going to do this. And we got up and we did it. And then this crazy motherfucker comes in and listens to like 2 sets of cassettes on both sides, and then virtually looks at me and says, play me back song number 1, 8, 29, 32, 64, like this. He's fucking telling me this shit. I said, you gotta be kidding me, man. You know what I mean? And then he sung me back every single riff. Wow. You understand? Yes, yes. So,
dude, 70 fucking tunes?
Her and I were fucking rockets. You gotta understand. It's like, but we've been training for this for years. Her and I, if I had to be at one of these contests where I fuck people up, they might fucking say I'm stopping everything, but I'm not there anymore. You understand? So if I was in a race, I can probably write an album, do 2 websites, a couple of commercials, 2 or 3 photo shoots, and probably 2 or 3 other things in 24 hours every day. And you wouldn't even feel how, because I set myself up that way. I'm a plug and play guy. I don't fucking gotta fucking plug nothing. I either plug in 1/4 inch, or I walk up to a station where I push one button and all the fucking lights come on and shit just happens. But that takes years of experience. And I told you, imagine being with your creative soulmate for 36 years, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not fighting and getting along. And if there was a fight, it lasted 10 minutes, and it's always my fault. So, imagine.
I love how you said that.
It's the truth, though.
Yeah.
It's the truth. You got to say the truth.
My fault.
Yeah. So this puts shit in perspective, hence why I said about the Kim Fowley stuff. So it's not about quantity now. But you know, when you push yourself to that level, then you have to say you can come back to a comfortable level. Mm-hmm. You know, I did something one time last year where I wanted to freak somebody out, and I said, I'm going to make a year's worth of content in one evening. And a year's worth of content is one thing a week. Okay, one really cool thing a week with a beginning, middle, and end, an intro and an extra, color correction, sound correction, beam bash bash, it's fucking done, right? You need 56 videos to do that. So I decided I was going to see if I could do that in an evening with my wife. Well, it took me 32 hours, and I had to pull out 56 pairs of glasses, and I do have them. And I do have a huge closet with everything in perfect fucking order for me to
We
dress.
did talk about that. You're like a clothes freak, right?
I'm a fucking clothes super pig. But and now I do much less. But if you see my fucking closet, I flip my fucking my light on, and I got a mirror ball that comes on, and all my shit's fucking lights up and shit. It's fucked up. I gotta have fun somehow if I don't go out, dude.
That's true.
Do
Right?
you miss the stage then? Do you miss getting the yayas out? Like for me, I would do it via on the stage. So you must miss it then. Or you just replace it with this.
This is replaced, guys. Listen to me. When something isn't anymore, right? You don't necessarily miss the other thing. You know how fucking great it is to have your own stage in your own house, to be able to do your own shit. You just got to be pro about it and consistent, right? And after you're pro and consistent, then you got to think business, right? Because let's face it, you know, there's addicted to content. The internet is a giant monster that wants to be fed fucking content. You understand? So here we go. You learn how to do this shit. You say, okay, now we're going to feed this shit, right? And then you go more, and you keep doing it. Before you know it, all you're doing is fucking making videos, and you forgot about your goal. You understand? So what needs to happen in your case, if I was to analyze how I would work this as a group of three, that everybody's got to specialize in something, that's got to do with making the whole thing go round. Especially when it comes to expansion. So, okay, you're working with some sponsors now, I see, and stuff. Okay, but then you got to think, okay, where am I going to go? How big do I want this thing to be, right? And every week, you virtually have to have some kind of mini meeting to see where optimization is feasible for growth.
Well, it's kind of funny, Momo, you saying that because we kind of do have our little roles.
Yeah.
And then there's some crossover, obviously. And really, this just started from a group of text messages. We were text messaging each other. This is way before COVID, for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And we were text messaging each stuff like material and talking the industry and everything. I'm like, this is literally Baseplay magazine, like a portion of it, just a general conversation with us. I'm like, if they have thousands of people who want to read this, I go, thousands of people are going to want to read these texts, because it was inside stuff and material and things about artists and things in the industry, about you name it, everything that you would find in a periodical was going on a personal level between the three of us when COVID hit.
When COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we said, all right, let's bring it to everybody.
And I had the infrastructure already from the base hang, because I have all the the websites, I got all that. I also I've had a podcast forever where I could just go, oh, fuck it, let's put this on there. So it was kind of and then all of us have kind of like, okay, you do this. It's like it's fallen into place kind of. So I don't know, we're just doing it, man.
That's how the best things happen, you know. Like the best things happen when you don't try and make it happen. Actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like if you didn't meet your wife on a dating site, then you guys met her naturally, and that's why you're still together.
I absolutely hear you, man. Dude, I've been seeing a lot of different gear with you lately, man. Talk about some of the what are you playing? I know you're working with Dark Glass.
I'm looking at all the basics back there.
Okay, you want to talk gear? Let's go gear pig, dude. I'm gonna freak the fucking shit out of you guys.
Do it, man.
Well,
You can't do it.
I don't know. Momo's got some of the crazy stuff.
I've got crazy stuff. This is it. You see, because I'm gonna tell you, I quit playing bass like about 4 years ago, like permanently. And if it wasn't for the fact of my very dear friend Matt at Music Fox, who I didn't know at the time, and I found out later that him and we got a picture of ourselves together 20 years before, like a 1997 NAMM show, right? I'm still look kind of the same. So I bought a 12-string bass, this one actually, Um, this was my very first one. The classic thing, you've seen this, Alan Woody from
Oh yeah.
Alan Woody used to play one of these, and he was also a music box artist.
Mhm.
This is
Government mule, right?
Government mule, exactly. And when I started playing this thing, I started saying, "Oh fuck! I finally don't got to compete with all you motherfuckers that fucking love to play all day, like you guys, right? All you like schooled. I went to fucking Berkeley. Give me a fucking ulcer in my stomach to try and think that I need to play like you." And because I'm more of I'm kind of an architect in my approach.
Yeah.
I'm like a songwriter that loves sound, painting, and mixing all that shit. And I've chosen the bass as my instrument of choice and weapon. You understand?
Cool. Yeah.
So this really changed my life, and somehow, you know, when you think of this, you think of Cheap Trick, right? And then you think of King's X.
Yeah, Pinnock. Yeah.
Okay, very few people on earth, right? But look at the style these guys were playing. I'm sorry, it's not that fucking, you know, I love them because they started it, but it's not, I wouldn't want to play like that full time, you know what I mean? With all due respect. So this gave me a chance to pop harmonies. I like sequencing shit with my hands, and I love effects. So I've got a shitload of fucking effects. I raise all mine. You're going to see it soon because it's coming out. They're all keyboard stands, and they surround me. I got about 98 of them. Pedals on 6 boards with all matching barefoot color buttons on them. So I can punch them with my hand to turn them on and off. And I got all my individual boards hooked up to loopers on the floor that enable me to turn each board on and off as a whole. Each board is actually built kind of like a studio approach. So if I have a synth board, I'll have like a bunch of synth pedals on it, but I will also have a compressor and an EQ on each fucking board so that I can treat it as if it was its own unit, right? So, because you know, you can take a synth pedal, fucking great, but when I have 5 other things on it that are like I was running it through a board in a studio, and I can compress it, tweak it, and do the right shit to that thing on that one board, the sound's gonna be a hell of a fucking lot better. You know, more dynamics, more fucking width, and shit like that. So
do I get a tuner compressor and some sort of DI on all my boards?
There you go. You have to.
It's like, it doesn't matter.
I
Like
agree.
the pedal works. This is the compressor I use, which is nothing fancy, just the MXR. I'm like, give me 4 of these. You know.
Then what happened is I finally got my signature Momo bass, right? So this is called, that's what's called,
Momo.
right? And this is fucking crazy. This is like, I tell you, people think you can put a motherfucking octaver on your bass, and that sounds great. I'm not, it's a style, it's its own thing. We all know what a great octaver that can track sounds like on your bass. This has got fucking nothing to do with it, and I put octavers on top of it as well, right? So now we're fucking talking some stupid shit.
Nice.
So, you know, they come with locking tuners.
Cool.
Yeah, that white one,
Yeah.
I like to see how long I can play it and record with before I have to tune it. Sometimes it's like 3 months.
Yeah, what's it tuned to? What's the 12-string tuned to?
I generally tune it to standard tuning.
So E, but each one is different octaves, the 3?
Yeah, each one is a different octave. Otherwise, you know, I don't know, it sounds too fucking medieval for me. I'd rather do like like a complete, like a different style tuning, right? More like a dobro kind of tuning or something where I can strum open chords and play it more like a mandolin, which is actually a surprise is coming out soon. I'm getting a new signature bass of something that has never been done before with multi-strings. And when it comes out, I will call you guys and we'll do a 5-minute emergency release, show you what it is.
That's cool.
Sweet.
I love it.
And that's with Univox, the same company?
Yeah, this is all the same company. And I also, you know, these guys make some fucking great, look, this is going to turn your fucking crank. Check this shit out. This is an 8-string fretless.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Okay.
I've never even fucking played it on a fucking video or track yet. It's gonna happen in the next week.
That's awesome.
You don't see many maple fretlesses.
No, you don't. As a matter of fact,
Yeah, just
I wanted to try it because I like the sound of maple. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I just do. I like the snap of the shit.
That's cool.
You know. So playing multiple string instruments is really my thing. But I collect basses. I have all kinds of shit. Like
Yeah, nice.
I got stupid shit. Like one of my favorites is this thing sounds fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, those are great.
It also fucking weighs like 150 fucking pounds for a
Oh,
short
you
scale.
can kill somebody with that thing.
Dude, I don't know if you could tell me what the fuck's happening here, but why the fuck does this passive bass sound more powerful than any fucking active bass I have? Like, it's fucking scary. My wife says, I don't understand. It sounds like a fucking keyboard. What the fuck's wrong?
Yeah, it's sweet. I had a chance. I almost picked one up, but I was at a spot where I was like, I didn't have the funds for it. And I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit because it was gone the next time I was able to do it.
Oh, fuck that shit, dude. You know what I did? I traded 3 basses for that one.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
This is a really nice 12-string too.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, look at what I did to the neck here. It's gold.
Nice.
So it's all gold and matte black.
Wow.
And again, you're talking about, it's just like, it's like the bells of Pleasure Dome. You understand?
That's cool.
Momo, what scale length is that?
This is gonna be, it's like a 35 or 30. And it's so easy to play. It's like you're playing a fucking banjo, dude.
That's so crazy.
You can really do the hammer-ons. Really, it flows like fucking butter.
Nice.
But back to your question this is why I started playing this. It saved my bass career. I wouldn't be playing bass at all.
Wow.
And then I woke up one morning and my quitting video, which was with that white bass, and then on my Facebook page, it went up to like 100. And first I opened up my eyes the next morning, it was at 40,000 views. And then it went up to 150 on my personal page, which is very hard to happen.
Yeah.
And then I saw, okay, people like this shit. And then one thing led to another. And then, they stuck me on, I was on the cover of Bass Magazine and did a great interview. And so were you, Mr. Pulio. And rightfully so.
What I say too.
When are you going to be on it? Like,
I don't know. I should probably talk to Val and Raul and be like, hey.
Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I have a plan about what's happening soon, and I'm going to be calling all you guys for something because I will interview you guys to be on there.
All right.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen, like, as a matter of fact, in the next month or so, I'm going to release my true plan for what's happening for the first cover of the year.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are gonna pop one right there.
I like popping.
Yeah. So okay. Now, what about you, man? How's it going with you and all the bass? You were playing the last time I talked to you. You were doing some Blue Man Group stuff and shit, right?
Yeah, I mean that's not happening right now. So it's kind of a reinventing of everything right now. A lot of people I've talked to, like, they're using this as a big reset button. Boop, So I'm putting out a record at the end of the year. I'm in no rush. I want to do it after the election specifically.
A solo record, like a bass record?
No, well, it's with the guys I'm playing with, Dig by Terry. The guys, my little fusion thing. I mean, it's definitely not a solo record. It's a combined effort, but it's kind of like the Aristocrats in a way, like, there's a lot of me on it, So, but I don't want to rush it. Like, I'm in no rush to do it. I'm kind of waiting. I want to, like, wait to the end of the year, wait till, like, right before, well, NAMM's not happening, or virtual NAMM's happening, right? But, like,
NAMM's not happening. Let's just be it.
This is called it the way what it is. And then, like, come January, Probably early January, I'm going to do that. So, and now, I'm looking at, there are some live performances still going on out here at a minor level. So I'm investigating those aspects of it. But man, I'm writing and collaborating right now. Really, that's my big thing, and using it and doing things that I don't normally always get the chance to do, like spending more time with my daughters and shit like that. So, doing the whole
Trust me,
family.
that's the way to go, man. It's like, and what about you, Mr. Moody over there? What's
Oh, let's see. I mean, most of my stuff anyway was I was already before this, I was kind of trying to take a shift anyway, because previous to this, I was pretty heavy in the musical theater circles. So none of my gigs were ever on a stage; they were always under it. But I was kind of getting burned out from that, and just trying to do work more on my solo stuff anyway, just because I like it more. I have a lot more fun with it. So I was slowly pulling back anyway. And so, I mean, some of this, kind of forced my hand on that. So, I mean, I actually, I put out 2 EPs already this year.
Mhm.
I did one in February, then one in May, which I collabed with my girlfriend, who actually has been very into like South Indian movies. That kind of, and she does a lot of like music scoring and soundscapes and stuff that way. So she and I kind of did the last EP was more of a Indian styled solo bass album.
I heard it. So I was listening to it. It starts with a D. The Several or
The Drought.
The Drought. Yeah, excuse me. And
Yeah.
it's funny that you say that, because I said, "Oh man, listen to this Indian style kind of thing," and I could tell we sound the same. I'm right into that shit on a 12 string,
Mm-hmm.
and on my thing, I do that shit all the time, and it sounds like a sitar kind of approach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure.
So yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah, I really enjoyed what I heard, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So, I mean, I'm finishing up working on a third one right now. So, and it's funny because I finally got, how when you're into that creative mentality thing, and you're doing stuff and you're already happy with how things are going anyway, you hit that one thing that you're like, holy shit, that's the next level. You've reached the next plateau of your journey. And I did that I did a real easy arrangement of Billy Joel's "As So It Goes."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's in terms of performance and the arrangement, I mean, there's nothing to it. I mean, it's a real simple song because, I mean, it's a real simple thing, but it's just how it was done and how I did the recording, how I used the effects on some of my stuff. It's one of those things where finally I felt like, okay, I'm not just playing with the effect. I'm actually using this as a tool. Kind of like when you're, an artist gets a new paintbrush and you do some stuff before you're like, okay, yeah, this is I'm using a paintbrush and thing, but it's not until like a little bit into it where you're finally like, oh, I know how to use this paintbrush kind of thing. So I finally I think I hit that on a new thing. So I've been revisiting some of this other stuff that's going to go on that. And I mean, thankfully I haven't recorded any of that stuff. Otherwise I'd probably redo it.
Oh,
But
no, you just gotta put this shit out, dude. It's over. These
Right.
days of fucking redoing shit over and over again. I'm telling you, man, I do my shit in 1 or 2 takes as I'm writing it, and it's fucking over. Otherwise, I'll do something else. I'm not doing that shit anymore, man. I come from the days where I've watched people spend fucking 2 days on a kick and a fucking hi-hat sound, right?
yeah.
And then it's like, it was like already that started destabilizing me. It was like, whoa, I don't understand this shit. We're not moving fast enough. And magic is magic.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to capture magic. Hence why I am record motherfucking ready anywhere in my house, by the way. The whole fucking house is record ready.
Nice.
Because you never know. You have to think like Instagram ready house.
Yep.
Like, so because you're stuck at home, every angle, so if you're eating in your fucking kitchen and you're having your coffee, this is your morning potential. You can say something, you can snap a picture for Instagram for something. So everything in that position what looks behind you needs to be fucking perfect and needs to be repetitive. Then what you're doing in the afternoon, you got your studio shot, you got, 2 or 3 different, I like to call it Instagram ready, you know what I mean? So when you think like that, divided by a true goal, divided by survival, okay? Because here's the thing. So because everybody needs to survive now. So what is your survival gig? Can you make that survival gig make more money with less work, right? So now we need to figure this out. Are you doing a bunch of things that are smaller amounts of money that once combined makes a full amount of money? Or are you working a little longer for something that is more money so that you control more, so that you have more time to work on your other shit? I find that when people are working on a lot of little things to make that month end, for instance, you're always fucking chasing your tail, man. This is me personally. So the way to shift that, and it could take some people a few years, is to develop your skill set so that you become, more specialized in the way where you're doing something slightly different than other people. But most important is being dependable and being there. My clients, they know they could call me 24 hours a day on a Sunday, 7 days a week. They could say, it's Sunday, Momo, I need this by Monday, and this should take 2 weeks to do. Yeah. If I will make it happen by that Monday, if they really need it. But that means I won't sleep. Right? And people they're not willing to do that, right? So if you get the kind of people that accept you as that kind of person, then you will have more time to do your own thing. But you're going to have to be organized, because then you can say, okay, I made enough money this week, but I'm just going to go rest now. I'm going to go chill out. I'm going to do things. I've earned it, right? But then once you keep doing this wheel, you open up your eyes one day and you're 80 years old. And then what? Do we have retirement? Do we have a plan? People don't think about life like that it ends. I tell people now, look, pretend you're fucking dead and now work your way back. And don't be paranoid about death. Don't be paranoid about when you're going to go. Because the magic thing about artists, guys, is this thing I keep telling you we have. The power of dreaming like a mature child in an adult body. We have the possibilities of calling people up and fucking making shit happen now. When you're a kid, you can't make that happen. Yeah. Your passion could now turn into reality, because it's like putting pieces together to make things happen. Everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Whether it's a 15-second commercial, a 3.5-minute song, or a hour-and-a-half play, right? So what is it? To me, it's like fucking romper room mixing the fucking blocks around. Like, here, 1, 2, 3, which way do we go, right? And once you get that formula and you keep it organic, then it doesn't become repetitive. I read something the other day that is very impressive, that basically says that there is 2 kinds of thinking, which is of intelligent, not even intelligent, imagination, which is synthetic imagination and creative imagination. And synthetic imagination is based on following a map that has already worked. So let's say you or Steve and I decide, oh fuck, we want to copy GHS strings. Those things fucking suck. We can make them better, right? And then we because we know it worked for you, so why shouldn't it work for us? Let's follow that model, right? People do that as writers, as books, when they put together a show, et cetera, you know what I mean? Yeah. But the creative guy, he doesn't even need education. What happens is he breaks out of a box and he takes these components and he pulls them out of that box, and then things are just fucking different. And the use of synthetic is really basic. It has nothing to do with that. So when this guy was telling me this, I said, holy fuck, I am the most unsynthetic person. I'm by that, you fly by the seat of my pants in a very organized way. You know what I mean? And I think that you guys and us musicians, the people who take, like you guys don't take yourselves seriously enough without looking like you're taking yourself over serious. You got the proof of content. You've got the proof of your careers. You know what I mean? Now, the time has just come to fucking reinvent it. pretend that you're a fucking kid going into high school, but with the mind of an adult that has his whole life ahead of him. And who are you going to hang out with now? You fucking call people up, but you not necessarily just call up your regular musician friends anymore. Nothing personal. You got to think out the box. You got to. And that's okay, because that's part of fucking creation now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different song. It's a different instrument. It's your mind. You know what I mean? What an amazing potential. It's like if I told you guys, okay, we need to write an album where we're going to mix Indian, Chinese, opera, and samba, right? These are the elements. Let's put this in the pot and see what happens. So same thing. You got to find that magic. And that's the fun.
I always suggest to guys, when people want advice, I'm like, always play with different musicians. As many as you, I mean, different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Hardest gigs I ever did was speaking about the Indian thing, was an Indian classical session and not having that background. I like that. I'm learning those rhythms. And I was like, holy fuck, I was hanging on by the seat of my pants. I loved it, though. I'd do it again tomorrow if I could. I'm like studying the rhythmic pulses in the green room.
I love that shit, man. I did an interview with Billy Sheehan like last month, and he loves Indian music too. He revealed it in his interview where how much he actually loves Indian music, and he actually collects weird instruments where he plays that kind of shit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking. It's amazing, and who doesn't love that kind of music? John, you know what happened when you play that shit? There's something that happens to you where you feel like, oh my God, I'm just floating around. I got like a bass, kind of a mandolin, right? That came with my house years ago. They was just in there when I moved in. It brings me such enjoyment. And I leave it in the back there. And every time we shoot like, you know, pictures for musicians or they come over to work, somebody always winds up picking it up and they always say, oh man, you got to sell me this thing. It's like, no, you're not getting this thing. Yeah. It's just a joy, you know?
Absolutely.
What about you, Steve? What's going on with you, brother? Talk to me.
Man, trying to learn, get better at life. No, actually, really trying to just get more in the production end of things. And my work with GNL is really, I'm able to do a lot of that, whether it's R&D with instruments or just learning how to film better.
Steve?
How to do. Hey, can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it went mute for a second, bro.
Oh, mute. I didn't do anything. Sorry. Yeah,
Steve broke it.
I broke it. I did something. So no, whether it's just learning more production skills. That's kind of where I think I want to go. I want to oversee things and manage and produce. And GNL is kind of giving me a vehicle for that. I'm able.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. That's a good company, dude.
Yeah, I've been with them for a long time, and I'm doing a lot with them, and we're I mean it's Leo Fender, more Leo Fender than anybody can be, and we've got some shit coming out, man. So I'm really trying to do some project managing, media production, kind of manage that, and just get better at it. That's it. That's for me is always. I just want to get better at this shit. That's it.
And we're loving this.
Yeah.
We do. Like this has been an outlet for all of us going on. It really has been.
Yeah.
So.
Well, who doesn't want to get fucking pumped up with education among each other? I got to tell you, that's the other thing. Okay. There's one thing when you say, if you go back to the old days of education, at least musically, okay, so we had the word master class that everybody's using today.
Yeah.
If you go back to when it was the word was on a video cassette, right? So that's when it really started. Oh, here's the video cassette of the master class with Alfonso Johnson. Boom, right? Like, so you got all those guys and stuff, and now the master class is a different thing, and everybody wants to do the master class. But I'm telling you, I have figured out that in order for any musician to get to the part that they want to go to, most of the new things they're going to have to learn has got fuck all to do with music.
Hmm.
And they're going to forget that, right? Because minutes turn into hours, turn into days, which turn into weeks, which fly by. And let us remember, there's only 52 weeks in a year. That's like having 52 cents in your pocket, or $52, or 512. Like, it's nothing. You know what I mean? It goes by, boom. So what do? You know what I mean? I say it's all those other things. It's funny because, again, when I talk to people, if you look at the great ones, the really great ones, and musicians is one thing, but the musician, say, who's able to cross over to massive production thing, you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's people who are giant producers who are not even that musical, but they're just really good at managing people, situations, and putting the right people together and having the final word when they know when shit is good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's those kind of people too. So a lot of people are going to get intimidated by their own talent or lack of talent that they may perceive. But really, I always tell everybody, guys, you can only go X amount of way. If you jump, you're coming down. You can go left, you can go right, you can move forward, or you can go backward. Doesn't that work like that when you plug shit into your board? You plug it in input, it's gotta come out somewhere. Where is it going? Is it going to your computer, into an amp, into a shit? Everybody thinks it's so complicated. When you look at a huge SSL board, everybody says, oh my fucking God, how are you gonna work this thing? It looks like a spaceship. You gotta tell them, man, it's one strip that's just multiplied down the line. It's a big ass illusion, you know? So we gotta remember that the passion is going to pay off in the long run as the best set of scales and notes, more than studying fucking a ton of notes, for real. You gotta study, you gotta keep your chops in shape. It's the other accelerants, the fuel. That's the fuel, man. That's what
nobody can do one job anymore. Nobody can be like, I'm bass player.
No.
You know.
No, but you should actually be happy for that, because you're going to live longer because of this. Your mind is going to expand in multiple places. Fuck, man. Like, I am the happiest person on earth to have followed my own path. I'm going to just say that. I finished school in grade 7, you understand? And I made my parents think until grade 11 that I was still going to school. And I wasn't. You understand? Yeah. And I thought I was going to be a fucking dummy. Because you need, in those days, if you're not a doctor or a lawyer, we know what they say. You're going to be a bum. You're going to work in a gas station. They say anything. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with working in a gas station. But when you see that you can overcome that by self-learning and self-intelligence, then you have something called infinite intelligence. The shit just fucking makes itself up on its own, man. It just happens. When you're sensible, when you're honest, when you're not a jealous person, all you gotta do is have one of these elements. If you're a jealous person, you're fucked. All your decisions are going to be made on jealousy, whether you know it or not. If you're too good of a person and too kind, what's gonna happen, you might step back too much because you wanna let everybody go by first because you're that much of a gentleman. But is it that, or do you have a confidence issue? Right? So what does this got to do with fucking music? Actually, nothing. It's got to do with you as a human being. So if you can have a fantastic relationship with yourself and not play any instrument and do nothing, and have a fantastic relationship with someone else and your partner, then and only then are you ready to have a real relationship with doing something serious. Think about it. Some motherfucker killed a tree so a jerk off can stand there playing that tree that sacrificed itself for that instrument. And you're like, you're doing your thing. And like, okay, man, so what's going to happen? Did you save some kids somewhere in another town? Were you able to build a school? Did you do something to help your next door neighbor? Or was this really just about personal masturbation? So this is the kind of thing that we have to ask ourselves today more than ever, because we wouldn't have been able to have it that clear. The priorities, going back to the real priorities of love and respect, because love and respect is another set of fucking chords and notes that it should be in its own book, right? Play me the chord of respect, play me the chord of love. Add some fucking passion overtones. Play that shit. Fuck the notes for a minute. Then you'll find your purpose.
Momo, what do you see happen for yourself in 2021? You know, or say the end of the year. You know? Do you have some projects that you really want to focus on? Something you really want to do? Something you really want to show the public and go, wow, this is me. You know?
Well, I'm actually gonna.
Thoughts.
There's a few things. I'm finally gonna put out my own solo shit. That's one definite thing that is going to happen. Number two, I will put out another kind of project where I'm collaborating with some of my favorite bass players. Period. You know, I've been doing a lot of great shit with Brandino. Like Brandino has become one of my very dear friends, and we've been working on some stuff. We've been fucking around on the net with this Brandino Momo show shit, and you know, sometimes we got to control. It's fucking out of control stuff, but we finally come.
Yeah.
You see some of that shit, right? So we're finally coming to this kind of like direction that I think is finally that's gonna be repeatable. You see what I mean? But I speak to him every day for like maybe sometimes 5 times a day. I could just be sitting there, he works, I work, we talk. It's an amazing relationship. And because of this, you know, he's inspired me in a lot of places. I'm going to be doing some really incredible stuff at Bass Musician magazines. The kind of interviews and the kind of questions and the kind of collaborations and really interesting things that nobody have ever done before. I can't tell you what's really happening, but I will tell you this, that in September, I'm putting Rhonda Smith on the cover. And Rhonda Smith is a dear friend of mine from very long, we're both from Montreal. And I've known her since she's like 15 years old. I mean, I used to be her agent, for crying out loud. And, you know, so we not only had a fantastic interview, but it's how the cover is going to look. Fucking people are gonna shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Rhonda's great, man. She's
Rhonda's
great.
great. So, and then I'm doing something very original again for the first cover thing, which I will involve you guys in. And then the most important thing is to do something with my wife on couples. How to have the greatest, longest, most amazing life with your couple. Because we still look at each other like 18-year-olds, and it's fucking crazy. We wake up every morning laughing our asses off. As a matter of fact, I was just telling her this morning, I don't know how many people fucking still hold hands when they sleep together like you and me. But we do. And we are a very, very special couple. And we want to basically show people how easy it actually is. She has her life down in her office down there, and I have my life in my office down here. And we're together all the time. And we have our rituals and our walks and watch our movies, and we create and we brainstorm magic stuff. And now we're gonna do it. And that I feel is gonna be my next evolution, you know. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of voice stuff with motivational stuff.
I love it.
That's great. That's great.
I love talking on a good mic and getting that big beefy fucking radio voice where you can say a message to somebody and fucking tingle them and open up some doors, you know, like, man, that feels really good because we don't have kids, you know, so I kind of look at if I can save, you know, I still have about 20 kids that call me, write me, and show me everything from when they were 14 years old until right now in their late 20s and 30s for when I was a YouTube motivator.
That's cool.
You have no idea what that feels like to see the kid writing me and showing me a picture. Is my haircut okay? Do I look okay for graduation? The teacher fucking treated me like a piece of shit. What am I supposed to do? Some of them wanted to, you know, commit suicide. Some of them like lost their virginity like at a very young age. And they, you know, I will always remember this. Like the guy writes me and he tells me that, oh my God, I have a rash. They're 14, right? And I'm trying to say to myself, I got to keep this really cool because it's not like I'm a doctor and shit. And you know, it's got to be like pocket shit. So this kept private, but I had to tell the kid, I said, look, you guys are young. I assure you, you have some kind of friction infection. You rabbited out a little too fast over there, and that's all that's happening. That's why you're red and swollen. You need to fucking, do I have VD? Do I get a what? I said, man, this not gonna happen the next day like this. And you're a kid. You need to relax, so what an honor to do that. So I feel I gotta follow it, and it's very musical in my own way. There's an arrangement to it. There's an amount of
It
compression.
makes you feel good, It makes you feel good, man.
Some serious de-essing, man. This is like some fucking. Who else are these kids? You know any good role models these days? We're the last of the coolness here, us guys. When we fucking go, it's fucking over. These poor kids are going to be stuck. Like, if you're born today as a kid, you think about it for 1 second. I wish them the best, but it's a new human. They're born with a phone. They're born with the mask in their face, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have a new breed here, right?
I've got faith, man, in some of the younger kids, actually, though.
Yes, you're right about that. There's some great new kids out there. There's some great new kids, but there's also a bunch of people that are going to be very afraid because of just, look, man, some people love working, other people don't. This is also going to take society, and it's going to show, it's going to do a new measuring zone in society for who really wants to do shit. This is where you're going to see who's who now. I'm fucking telling you, the men and the mice are about to get separated. I wish
That I
everybody
agree
the
with,
best.
and that there's a negative and positive connotation to that too.
Yeah. Nobody wants to suffer, man. Like, the most important thing is a roof, food, and medical health. When this stuff happens and that stuff gets concerned, it's not about the PlayStation or the big screen TV or the new couch anymore. Understand? It's about those 3 elements. That's what basic humanity needs. But if you take those elements and let's go to another country here that is not so lucky, with no hot running water and the army and shit running around. Like, I have a friend of mine who, Chris Vandervalt from South Africa. He's a dingwall.
I know Chris.
Chris is a beautiful guy.
He's a tsunami artist, yeah.
Dude, you should see the shit that he's telling me is going on down there, dude. It's like some third world shit. No, I'm not fucking shitting you. They shut off the power like 4 or 5 hours a day. They cut all the cigarettes and alcohol on people, right? The government takes money that they get for relief, and the yahoos over there go and buy Lamborghinis, 10 Lamborghinis with it, and drive around the country to show the people what they did, and basically saying this. I said, come on, man, are you fucking kidding me? He said, no, man, that's how it is. Okay, we have a problem? You guys are in the States, okay? The States, I think you're in California, right?
Still in California, yeah.
Okay, California. Steve, I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
now I
There
can hear
you
you.
are.
The
Sorry,
gate's kicking in. California and the States, hardcore, because of all the political thing that's going on. They're waiting for the president. Canada, it's pretty easy here compared to there. We're a little more chillaxed,
yeah.
But out in Africa or some of these other countries, dude, we drop these kids or these people in there, they're not going to know what to do. They're going to think they're a fucking horror movie they're watching on Netflix. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
We are very lucky, despite the fact if you have a fucking cell phone and a roof over your head, you are able to do something now. And you have to do it. And it's not going to feel comfortable. Remember when you didn't have a job when you were younger and you had to go look for it, how afraid you were, and you finally got it, and it was like, and you look back and you realize that, well, I'm a man now and I've been through this shit. That's it, man. Fear brings fear. Positivity brings positivity. And action, okay, fucking brings results. Don't subscribe to the fear. And most important, don't watch that fucking news. Fuck the news.
Zero.
Fuck the newspapers. Fuck negative shit. You go on Facebook,
Zero.
Yeah.
you write to your friends. Do it for communication or only look at positive shit. you look at that other shit, the algorithm's gonna keep feeding you the fucking bad shit. Click on one bad thing, algorithm city. Here you go. You like fucking looking at some destruction there, Tony? Let me give you some more.
I don't fucking feed it to any of that, man.
Good.
I mean, I barely briefed, got into something political, because I'm really not. I'm like you. I'm not political. I'm not a conspiracy cat. I got into one little thing and lost a buddy over.
Oh.
And I said, no more. Zero. Never do it again.
I can't.
Never. And I never
people.
really did it anyways. I just kind of one time, like, I felt, I admit, I took the hook, right? And then, yeah, never again, man. I ain't swallowing that pill.
Because feeling good feels better than feeling like shit. So why feel like shit when feeling good feels better? See how simple that is? What an amazing concept. And it's all about time. You have time. You feel like shit now? Give yourself a goal. In the next 20 minutes, feel good. Not fucking next week. 20 minutes. Change your mind. Change your state of feelings. Go outside. Do fucking something. Look, there's nothing we can do. You know why? Because it's happening to everybody at the same time in the whole world. Mm-hmm. There's another agenda here, and we're not going to get into that because there's nothing we can do to change it anyways, right? No. So why waste the fuel on and that? And you bring it to your wife and your kids and your family, and you talk about it at the dinner table. You see, it's like, shut the fuck up, man. Let's talk about what we're going to do to fucking be cool.
You know, I've said this before online. I said, I want to see your kids. I want to see your vacations. I want to see your fetish wear. I want to see what, you know, what you ate last night, you know, but I don't give a shit with what you're believing in. That's your thing. And it's not my business. So that's more power to you. Whatever you believe, that's cool. You vote the way you want to vote. Okay, it's cool. I'll be over here drinking coffee and eating flan and waving.
Oh, I like flan. You like flan? You like flan?
Oh man, have you talked to Tony about this?
Oh no, I haven't. You don't understand. I'm a fucking flan. My grandmother used to make the best Moroccan flan you have ever fucking had in your life.
Oh.
I was gonna
in a cake mold. We're talking. She used to use a giant cake mold, so it was fucking huge.
It was a bunt flan.
Yeah.
Bunt cake flan. Hey, Momo, where did you grow up? Did you grow up in Canada, or where were you?
I grew up here. My parents are from Europe, and yeah. So I'm from Montreal. I didn't speak a word of English till I was about 6 years old.
Tu parles québécoise?
Oui, mais je peux parler comme ça, mais aussi je parle comme ça.
Okay, d'accord. C'est bien.
My parents had the French from France accent.
Oh, okay.
But I'm one of the few guys who can switch to m'a parlé de même aussi really well, where they actually think it. What's funny is when I got a French guy from France sitting here and a Quebecois sitting here, and I'm translating.
Francophone Quebecois, which one? So you can switch. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, and I switch in the accent. It's funny.
That's cool, man. Nice.
And you speak Italian?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I speak Spanish. My family's from El Salvador, so I speak Spanish fluently. But then I studied French, and I went to France.
Hola, papi, ven aquí. ¿Qué pasó?
Ahora tú sabes, güey.
But yo hablas español también.
¿Habla español? Sí.
Sí, because my parents are Spanish.
Wow. ¿De dónde?
They're Spanish from Morocco.
Oh, they're Morocco. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're Moroccan Spanish guys.
Yeah, that's cool.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah. So
who goes to Montreal? Who migrate to Montreal?
Heck yeah, man. I want to
go. Yeah. I hope I can get. Oh, what do we have here? I'm a cat lover. Let's show.
Oh yeah.
Put the cat in the camera. I can't see him. Bring that face in there. Hello. Hello, baby.
A Russian blue, right?
I think she's got a bunch of it in. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a lot.
Momo's soft side in the kitties.
Yep.
Why do people always sound like little kitties when they see an animal? They raise their voice like I just did on the air. Like I sound like a
Like it's the same thing with small kids and babies.
Animals
It's
are
true.
incredible. It gets into that like, oh, that just like that love thing. We're like, oh, it's so cute. Animals are rad. Do you have pets, Momo?
You know what? I had a cat for 20 years.
Oh wow.
My best friend, and it's 4 years now that she's gone, and we're just starting to think to get a new one. But it killed me, man.
Yeah, I'm
When
sorry.
my cat went, my cat virtually looked at Creela and I, and virtually 2 tears came down her eyes,
Oh,
and she cried, and blew my fucking mind, man.
yeah. Sorry.
You know, so they become like our kids. You know that way
Yeah,
that works.
they're family members. They're family, dude. Big time. Yeah.
Hey, what do you guys think? Are you any of you guys? I know Tony uses dark glass. I'm a fucking dark glass pig. You like that shit?
I do. It's good stuff, man. I liked I had the 600, the microtubes for a minute, and it was fantastic. It was great. Yeah. These guys are way more pedal board guys,
Yeah,
but I do like
the
it.
only overdrive I'll use, man. I've got the Omega, the 10, the B3K. I've been using forever. But you know, I'm weird with it, man. My settings are low. I only use them. I don't go crail crazy. One of the reasons why I love dark glass was because of how subtle you can dial it in. So if you just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, your own version of Getty, which is what I use it for, you know, like a little bit of that
Some light breakup. You know what I mean? Like,
light. That's how I use it. That's how I use it, you know, and I like it. I like it a lot.
you guys got me fucking tweaking out. You know, I have a lot of great gear, outboard gear and shit, but I do not have one of those ready things. And I keep saying to myself, damn, I need to fucking that motherfucking red box in my fucking studio.
Red box, my friend. You need the red box.
Okay, so what? This thing plugged in direct, and you're good with that shit?
Yeah, my signal chain, I go into my ready, into my 21176, but I bypass. So
Oh yeah, I have that too. Yeah, that's fucking
yeah,
great.
so I'm just hitting the circuit and then into my UA, and that's it. And that's I've been
All
doing.
right, I'm about to get real geeky for a second. Hold on.
Oh, now we're getting geeky.
Oh, we got almost the same setup, man. I got the same UA as you and shit.
I love it, man.
Oh, you go fuck. Once you go universal audio, you got to be a fucking buffoon
Dude.
not to fuck.
The unison is fucking off the hook. The unison thing is like it's amazing. It's amazing, dude. Yeah.
Oh, let me see this.
So I have a couple of versions of the same board by Temple Audio.
That's nice.
Right.
And you got the Neve. He's got the Neve DI, which is
The
fantastic.
Neve is more for live, but I'll use it to record too.
How does that thing sound, that Neve DI? Do you like it?
I like it a lot, actually. I like it a lot, but I was starting to use them for live. I struck a deal with those guys before COVID, like right before COVID. And I have one, they're on my live boards, and I know I'm going to get a strong signal where the highs are kind of just sweet. There's like a harmonic, I don't want to say distortion, but there's a thickness to the lower mids. I don't use any EQ on my board anymore live. I just have I trust my basses.
Yeah.
I trust exactly what they are.
Your fingers.
And here, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got like the best fucking gear on earth, like you guys, okay? But I found something in a fucking pawn shop, okay? I'm gonna show it to you right now, and you gotta tell me if you've ever seen this. You know what it is. It's very small, okay? And I said, oh, he let me have it for like $40, right? And then I plug this shit into my fucking bass, right? And I say, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, so let's look at this for a minute.
Oh,
Okay, so it looks like this baby little head, right?
oh, the Noble stuff. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
exactly, right?
Ooh.
No,
Dude,
what?
have you ever heard this thing?
I haven't heard that, but I did a whole thing with Noble's pedals. They're guitar pedals, and they're really good.
Dude,
What
this,
is that? The preamp?
I've never seen anything like this. It's very old.
Yeah.
So it's called the, it's called the,
Pre-master.
I shit you, I fucking shit you not. It's fucked up, man. It's like this thing fucking sounds so good, right? That like you can't even fucking imagine. It sounds like I'm going through like a fucking $10,000.
So you just use it for a preamp? Just for a preamp before you go in?
Yeah, here's my trick is like I love boosters, okay? Like one knob boosters or clear boost. Like so, like for instance, you know, like the exotic bass booster.
Yeah.
I love that thing, but like for instance, I'm gonna show you a secret fucking weapon right here. You're not gonna believe this, but and they're both red. If I take this thing, right, and I fucking pump it into this thing, right?
Whoa.
It's fucking game over. It's fucking game over for any passive bass or even an active bass. This thing, right, sounds fucking insane on a bass. I don't know, because I don't think people, bass players, right, necessarily believe in boosters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a core clean sound that you like, and then you take a fucking booster like this and you just find the right level, I'm telling you, everything just goes boof. Like, it doesn't add distortion, it just adds wideness and fatness.
Clean headroom.
Eh?
Room. Yeah.
So this one can go to like 24 volts. Okay, so the flat, what that does is it boosts all signals evenly. So you get more low end, more high end.
Okay.
Right? And then over here, when you put it on normal, just kind of seems to drop a bit of bottom a little bit, makes it clear. It's still very usable.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a treble booster here, which is great. So when I'm recording, depending on what I'm doing, if I want to play a kind of lead line on a bass, I will put it on normal or on the treble. And because this thing's got quite a bit of bass on it.
Sure.
So it just kind of almost like if I switch a pickup and fucking gives me amazing sounds. You know what I mean?
Dude, but to go back to the Ready, you can see the signal difference, man. Like, not you could put it into Pro Tools or Luna or wherever, you know, whatever DAW you're using, put it on, and then you can actually like, wow, look at that wave. It's like just so thick.
Yeah.
I'm all about thickness and lower mids. Thickness and lower mids, man. That's where it's at.
Fuck, dude, but I'm telling you, this Noble thing, like, I lucked out on this shit. Like, it's one of the, I have a lot of pedals. I got about 350 pedals in the house.
Nice.
So you got to say, what's your favorite? Is there really something that you won't get? It doesn't matter how expensive. That's one of them.
Wow.
That there's no fucking with this thing. Like,
well, Nobles, they make great stuff. They really do. For guitar players, they're I forget what it is. There's an overdrive pedal that's really famous.
Oh yeah, country guys use that shit a lot, right?
Yeah. And there's a booster that they make too. I mean, it's good stuff, but I've never seen that one. That's pretty rad. That's a good find.
It's a rare one, and the other thing that I've been using lately, because you know I love reverbs, weird reverbs and delays, you know. But a subtle one that I've tried out, which I'm not usually a big fan of Keeley stuff, but that fucking 30 millisecond fucking double tracker, have you tried that thing? It's got like the Abbey Roads fucking reverb in it, and then there's like the Dimension chorus, you know, from the old
boss.
Oh, dude, you
yeah.
if
So
you
here,
like reverbs, man.
here, this thing here. Hang on, let me pull it on my board.
I gotta talk to you about a company afterwards, Momo.
You see this thing here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, dude, this thing is fucking amazing on bass.
Wow.
Especially for the style that you guys fucking play.
Yeah.
You would fucking shit on this, John, on your fucking your 6-string shit and all that stuff. I'm telling you, man. And the reverb from Abbey Road in this thing is amazing. Like, what I love doing is cranking the reverb really loud, right? And bringing the level of it really low.
Oh, yeah.
So it just creates, you know, it's in there, but it's coming from far, and it's just fucking, and if you shut it off, man, like you say, oh my God, I just lost my bass sound. Like, you know, so very exciting.
This pedal got killed. You could even see it smashed. They had a road case fall on it.
Oh, what is that? Is this Earthquaker, motherfucker?
The Earthquaker devices.
Yeah.
That's an old one, too.
Coolest. This is an older one. This was one that they put out specifically for some psychedelic festival. that was
Interesting.
very
Okay.
specific. So it was very early 70s like. I'll see if these guys can actually fix this for me.
I'm sure they could.
Yeah, this thing's killer. This thing's totally killer. The Earthquaker devices have like the coolest.
Yeah.
You know who turned me on to that was Juan. So
Hmm.
Juan Aldrete, he worked with those guys a lot and said, "You need to check this out." And I'm like,
Good stuff, man.
"All right, you know."
The other company that I've been doing a lot of work with lately, which I really believe in, is Morley.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Got to fucking tell you, this shit, by the end of the year, you guys are going to be seeing shit with Morley that nobody's going to believe. In the middle of COVID, I was able to interview and get like 6 new bass players from around the world, and there's a bunch of things like happening that are like phenomenal. But I got to tell you, like a wah on a bass, especially a switchless one,
wow.
and especially ones that you could just crank to the beat
Hmm.
and just go really, really slow and keep cycling, and you're getting like this fucking, you're getting this fucking real DJ shit fucking going down. I gotta tell you, I fucking love it.
Nice.
Company's been around for 50 years. Rock solid shit, dude. And the new motherfucking format, built like a fucking tank.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You know why you guys would love this one? Because it's called the wall lock. So what's happening is on this side, you got the lock, right? So then you could set the fucking frequency right here. So if you step on this, it's if you got a cocked wah sound of your
Okay.
choice.
Hmm.
So you want to go into a solo, you just go quack, right? So then this whoa mode over here, when you're going down, instead of like getting a higher wah frequency, you're getting a dropping lower frequency. Perfect for bass,
Yeah.
right? So my favorite thing is obviously to put this after all overdrives. It seems to be guitar players or people that get this fantasy that they believe a fucking wah should be going in the front. I'm going to beg to differ for one
I was going to ask you,
reason.
where do you put it in the chain, man? Where do you put it?
Think if you don't have it after distortions, you are robbing yourself of the bending the fuzz or bending the sound. You can't get that big without it going after. Not gonna happen. And the switchless is the way to go, because if you think you're gonna go clank on and then fucking start doing that shit and then clank off, not gonna fucking work. You know? So these are just fantastic pieces of gear, and I'm telling you, you can't believe the quality. The quality is so good that they give you a life warranty on this shit.
Yeah.
You can fucking sell it to 10 people, and that 10th person will still have a life warranty.
That's
And
wow.
you could run it over with a truck, and it's still going to work. And if it breaks, they'll give you a new one. So, you know, I'm amped. And while we're here and talking about gear, they also make the best motherfucking switchers you've ever seen. So this is their pro line switchers,
Cool.
right? So let's say you wanted to. This one's really cool too.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
So what you could do with this one that's amazing is you could plug your bass into this sucker, have 2 outputs going out to your mixing board, right? Let's say you wanted to take output A and run that through a bunch of effects, and output 2, this is just a kind of light crunch on your dark class or going into your ready or whatever. You can turn them on and off or put them on together.
Hmm.
Bingo! It's like straight into your motherfucking DAW. It's got like a fancy ass transformer in there.
Cool.
You can deal with 108 up to 180 degree or normal on the flip of the whatever that thing is. It's the
Is that a passive box? Does it need power?
it works passively. The power is generally for the lights, I think.
Hmm.
And I gotta tell you, dude, I tried this the other day. This is possibly one of my favorite fuzzes fucking ever. It's fucking sick. So this is the Chris Burton fuzz in a box without the pedal.
Oh, nice.
I like how you got the tone all the way up.
And here's the thing about this thing. This, for some reason, this fuzz, you can fucking crank it and it's not making fucking noise. Like, same on the wah fuzz. It's fucked up. You crank it. You know when you go to the intensity, right? Sometimes with a lot of pedals, what happens, right until just at the very, very end, you got the smacker that happens. Everything's fine, and then you go click to the very end, and then you go into major oscillation super fuzz. It takes it, dude.
Wow.
It's fucked up. I love it.
That's good stuff, man. That's good to see that Morley's doing, and that's like a kind of a redesign, right? Kind of an up in their game redesign kind of thing.
Absolutely, you know what I mean. And I'm working with them on marketing and all kinds of stuff, and it's going really well. They're a very nice bunch.
That's awesome.
They've been around for a very long time, and you know the presidents of the company are just cool people.
Cool.
And
So, hey, there was a few questions we want to ask you before we wrap everything up and get into socials, right? So there's something that we're starting new. We're starting with you now, Momo.
You are the first one.
First one.
Got the 3 questions. Tony, you want to ask the first one?
First one. Let's see. Do I remember this? Do we
You remember? I know. I was on a walk and I came up with this stuff. So okay, so we'll do. So the first one is Momo, living or dead, an artist that you would have that you'd love to perform with. Let's say just one person that you just would just love to just freaking jam with or perform with. Living or dead in his.
I would have to say Chris Squire.
Ah, oh, okay. I like it.
Because if you're saying living or dead, I mean, there's a lot of great people and stuff, but I would say that Chris.
It can be a band. It can be anybody. Just wanted to jam with. Just share.
Chris Squire changed my life when I think. By the time I was 15, I had 2 Rickenbackers already,
Nice.
And I was just and 2 SVTs. I was a fucking psychopath already.
And the meal question.
Yeah. Living or dead, who would you have loved to sit down and have a meal with?
Honestly, my favorite person to have a meal with at all times would be my wife.
I love it.
Nice.
That's heavy.
Being in the same room with her, and even knowing that she's in that other room, like right now, I just think of her, and my fucking skin is just fucking crawling with like joy, love, and happiness. It's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And you know, not too many men are going to be talking about shit like this out in the open. I do not understand why, and frankly, I don't care. But when you do get that part of it, and you don't feel like you've been owned, or as they like to call it, pussy whipped, or whatever it is that people use in their language where they choose to treat a woman as like something different than a man or themselves, then I don't get that shit. I'm an original feminist, actually. You know, when my father died when I was 15, I was left in the house with 3 girls. You understand? My 2 sisters and my mother, and I was the man. So I see the power of women, and I've always believed in them. So yeah, I would have to say my wife.
Bravo. I love it. And
You are blessed.
That's awesome, man. That is rad. And then the third question. What was the third question? I forget. I was like looking for it.
Steve.
I know.
Yeah.
It was the jam with, have a meal with, and I'm trying to find our text thread because what was the third one? Oh well, I don't remember. This was our first jab at it.
Oh, come on, tell me, Jonathan. You don't remember the question, John?
I don't, because there was so many other side conversations going on. We don't usually just have one straight path that we
I know.
follow.
Yeah, we don't like. It's literally.
Okay, let's think of one.
It would take up hundreds of pages.
No,
long.
but it would be. Where's hold on a second. We're gonna find this. I'm trying to find our.
We're very professional, everyone. Very, very professional. We take ourselves very serious.
No, we need some No, you got to give yourself some leeway. That's the thing. We can be professional anytime we want. That's the thing. On a flip of a switch, any one of us can say, oh, we're in professional mode.
We're kind of loose about this whole thing on purpose.
Well, and the 3 questions was just to kind of get to know the person. So yeah, I just was thinking like, who would you jam with, have a meal with, And yeah, I can't remember the last one for some
And
reason.
who would I want? How about this? Who would I want to be interviewed by tonight? You guys,
Yeah.
There we
the
go.
Big Bottom Podcast.
Love it.
Yeah, there we are.
We love that. We love it.
Yeah.
Momo, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, give us socials. I will put it down there. We will have
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
That, well, the best place what you can do is you can go to my Facebook. My name, people call me Momo, but my Facebook, where my music on it is called Michel Laredo.
Michel. Okay.
Laredo, exactly, Laredo, or the Momo Zone.
Okay.
So you can go to my website, which I'm about to totally redo, but it still looks pretty cool right now, which is called themomozone.com.
Cool.
And there you can see a bunch of my demos, my interviews, my philosophies, and a bunch of Momo's motivation for musicians.
Cool.
I answer a lot of questions too, like I got a shitload.
You have, man. You've done. I've heard a lot. I've seen a lot of those videos. A lot of them.
I try and give, usable, valuable advice because I'm all about just getting shit done, But, in closing, again, I really want to thank you guys for letting me shoot my bill here, my fucking blabber here on your show. I hope I didn't take up too
I loved
much
it. I'm just pissed off I didn't fucking hang with you at NAMM.
It doesn't matter. We're gonna find a way to hang out, even if it's virtual.
Oh,
And now that we know that Momo likes flan too, it's on.
Oh, well, hey, there's FedEx, dude. We could do some flan transferring. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get the recipe from my mother.
Oh man.
No, you're gonna freak out because this is an old recipe. This recipe goes back like 100 years, dude. Yeah, my grandmother made it in like one of those big cake molds, right? So it was this high, right? When it came out, the layer of caramel that was on the top, and the whole thing is sealed, right? And then that caramel juice, right? That you keep like pouring back on it. She used to have
pour it on your body.
Dude, she used to have a whole side dish of just the liquid, of just the shit to be able to pour more on, right? And I like it tight, right? I like a tight flan, Like I've seen some flan that is like fucking falls apart and it fucking goes in all directions and it squirts in your mouth like fucking something's happening. But I like it when it's tight and organized. My grandmother made a tight flan.
I love it. That's awesome.
We are big flan fans here.
Right.
So,
Oh, fuck, man. I'm so doing this, dude. I'm so fucking going to send you guys some shit FedEx. I'm telling you.
I love it, man. On WeTransfer flan. That's gonna be it, right? That's it. All right, man. Well, dude, Momo, you have been awesome. We love you. Thank you. We all really appreciate it, man. And
yeah, absolutely.
So this is the Big Bottom Podcast. At this time, we stopped recording, but we still talk shit. So hold on, and we're gonna say bye to the audience. Goodbye, audience.